But yeah, my main point to do this, it wasn't because I wanted to like trash this, that. Like, I'm never someone who like goes on here to just bring shade to things. Like, all I'm about is actually what works, what doesn't work. And my mission is to help women get to know their hormone, to achieve optimal health, optimal body composition without being miserable, without having to count things to death, fixing their bodies, getting their bodies to like get healthy and have long-term weight loss, being able to like and also lose weight effortlessly, like when you get onto it. Hello, welcome back to the Stay Fitness channel. If you're new to this channel, my name is Daniela and I help women get to know their hormones in order to achieve optimal health and body composition. So in today's video, I would like to discuss my opinion on Weight Watchers, if I think it's a valid tool to achieve optimal health. You should give it a go. So yes, stay until the end so I can give you my final like opinion on it. But yeah, let's get into the video. So firstly, let's recap what Weight Watcher is. So it's a program, it's a nutritional program that one can sign up. It costs, I think around on dollars, like $20 to $50 a month or something like that. And basically you get a personalized plan with your, like that. Now this is like a new thing from this year, but where before it used to be like blue plan or something like green plan and all that. Now it's like personalized points which are calculated using a questionnaire on like your weight, your goals, your lifestyle, how much you like, how active you are and stuff like that. You get a set of bespoke points. You get some free foods in there, and yeah, so basically that's the, in a nutshell, that's Weight Watchers. But yeah, let's first talk about the things I like about Weight Watchers. Things I like about Weight Watcher is this community feel, which I think is quite important when you're trying to lose weight. You're part of a community, you're not on your own. So you have, aside from having Facebook groups, you have like when you sign up, you have like an internal community with different groups, which I think is really nice. They have an app, which is another thing they like, making it easy. And there's like a community feature inside the app, which makes it easier that, you know, you're feeling a bit down, you're talking to someone who's going through the same thing. It can really help. But yeah, next let's talk about the things I don't like about Weight Watchers. So the thing I most dislike about Weight Watchers is this point system, which is just good PR for calorie counting, because points are basically calories. Different points like point to different foods having a different caloric load. And as I say in my almost previous videos and all that, that calorie count, I'm not a fan of calories in, calories out model, calorie deficit. So the first reason I don't like this point counting is that it teaches you the foods are like a numeric unit. It doesn't take into account nutrients, because that's the marketing that's supposed to like make you take better choices, picking foods that are like lower on points, which means that like it's somehow better for you. But I've seen what people does, like I've watched so many videos who I eat in a day, and what people do is they eat these like super low point foods as little as possible so they can have points at the end of the day, so they can have desserts like chocolate bars, protein bars, muffins, ice creams and whatever. So yeah, it doesn't teach you like that you should prioritize the right nutrients, why you should do that. It just teaches you numbers, so it becomes like a budgeting, which I've heard a girl saying, like she was doing like a Weight Watchers review video, that you know, you have a certain amount of money, it's like you have a certain amount of budget, it's like money, once you spend it, it's done. Which taking me to my next point, why I don't like this calorie count, this points count, is because it promotes food anxiety. Like once you run out of points, it's done, it's over, you shouldn't eat anything more. And that's like, this is so triggering for me, because I've done so much calorie counting in my time trying to lose weight, like for whoever is new, I used to look like this, and then now I look more or less like this, but there's a story there which I'm gonna tell you later about these 2 pictures and what they have in common, so stay tuned. But yeah, this obsession with having a calorie budget and then trying to get, because in the end of the day, like dinner is probably the favorite meal, everyone's favorite meal, because it's the meal that probably gets to enjoy with the family, maybe they get home from work and all stuff like that, so you try to have a good dinner, so which means like if you have this point, it's probably starving yourself during the day, so you have as many points as possible at the end of the day. Which takes me to my next point, like why I don't like this point system is because you can hoard these points. I see so many, because I've joined the Facebook group just to see what it is about. I wanted to see if people are happy, unhappy, how does it work, and I see so many people saying, you know, they hold their points till the weekend so that they have more bonus points to spend during the weekends. Now everyone is holding points for Easter, so but it doesn't work like that. It doesn't mean because you're eating 1200 calories one day, you can eat 3000 during the weekend. It's how it evens out. It doesn't work like that. I'm all about the 80-20 rule. It means that like you're really good at 80% of the time, and then 20% it can be a little bit more indulging, but it doesn't mean you're starving yourself for 80% of the time. The 20% of the time you get all out, like alcohol, pizza and all that. There are good ways to indulge, and there are like really extreme ways to indulge, but yeah, this whole holding points, if you have extra points, I really don't like it. And which takes me to our next point, is that I really don't like this fact that you earn points through exercise. As I made a video, the exercise should not be used for weight loss. Like where exercise has its own benefits, it should not be used to earn food. It's such a like unhealthy way of perceiving food, of like building a food relationship, that saying, oh, if you work out a lot, you earn a lot of points and then you can eat them. I just think it's really unhealthy, and it's something that I've always tried to get my clients off. Actually, when I was doing that, I was the same. This is why I'm so passionate about it, because I would do an extra workout in the evening, 15 minutes, just to earn those 150 extra calories so I could eat a little bit more. And I used to tell that to my clients too, and then, you know, you start looking at what effects it has on your metabolism, and does it actually promote not permanent but long-term weight loss? No. So yeah, I just don't like it. Which naturally takes me to my next point, is the fact that all these points ignore the hormonal component of like which foods influence which hormones. And it's something I like. As again, I watch so many of these videos, it does not promote that, because like if you have insulin resistance, it still keep eating all these carbs, refined carbs, is not good for you. And the fact that you get free points, like free foods are free, and they're usually like potatoes, oats, pasta and stuff like that, I think is absolutely ridiculous. Like those are the foods that you should most avoid when you're trying to fix metabolic health, which I think is probably most people who join Weight Watchers have probably some type of metabolic syndrome. And yeah, it's true that questionnaire asks you at the beginning if you're diabetic or not diabetic, but you could be not diabetic, have insulin resistance, which is a pre-diabetic condition. Remember I told you about how I'm going to tell you the story about these 2 pictures. So I used to look like this, and then I lost weight like this, and I did it through calories in, calories out, which you may say like, it worked, Dani, what are you talking about? Yes, it worked until I was so strict about it. In order to look like that, like the second picture, I had to walk like 15,000 steps a day, do 2-3 workouts a day, and eat like 1500 calories a day. Like, and I was doing the same thing. I was saving calories, like eating these like super low calorie foods like rice papers, popcorn, and all these things which are close to be super low points for Weight Watchers. But what I didn't realize is that I knew I had insulin resistance, but I wasn't fixing the root cause, which means getting my body to be insulin sensitive again. So what happened is that I started, like, after this picture was taken a few months later, I was sick of doing all of this. I slowed down a little bit, worked out less steps, and I took the eye out of the ball and I started eating like whatever I wanted, carbs and all that. The weight started piling up again. So I was still insulin resistant until I fixed my metabolic syndrome, which is when I started doing the carnivore diet. So yeah, all this to say that these points really ignore the hormonal factors that each food triggers in our body. And then last thing I don't like about points is the fact that your points goes down as you lose weight. Like, how can you be incentivized losing weight if the result is going to be you having to eat less and less and less? So yeah, reducing your food intake, like more and more and more, without fixing the metabolic syndrome and all that, all it's gonna cause is for your hunger signals to be all messed up, and for you to just have more and more cravings because your body's not getting what it needs. And I'm not saying like calories don't exist, and like in the end of the day weight loss does happen of a calorie deficit, but your body has to naturally want to go into a deficit, and that can only be achieved if we fix our metabolism, our hormones, and get our body to naturally want to lose fat. We can't force it, and by forcing it we just cause problems to our body, like leptin hormones being disrupted, insulin resistance doesn't get fixed, and all that. So I'm done telling you what I don't like about the point system. The next thing that really bothers me is that it doesn't teach you which foods to avoid. It doesn't make you avoid any like inflammatory foods. It doesn't make you avoid vegetable oils. Actually, Weight Watchers produces their own line of snacks, which contain a ton of like all these super processed ingredients, vegetable oils. I looked through so many, and I was so shocked that they all have sugar, preservatives, vegetable oils, and I'm like, how is this healthy? How is this meant to be like something that like gets people to be healthy, if that you're just taking foods they eat all the time anyway, like, I don't know, Snicker bars or like Twinkies or whatever, and you just make them Weight Watchers, so you just make them smaller so they have less calories, less points. And I'm like, so it's basically you taking the standard American diet, you're just making it smaller portions. Like, that's gonna help anyone? And I know, like, the appeal of like eating the same things that you've been eating for like so many years, just less of them, seems to be like a good appeal, but that's not how you fix things. Like, it's like, I don't know, I don't even know what example to make, but like having a bad habit like drinking or smoking, like drinking less is better, but not drinking is optimal, isn't it? Like smoking 20 cigarettes or smoking 3 cigarettes, okay, it's better to smoke only 3, but it's more optimal to not smoke at all, isn't it? So yeah, so the next point, and I think it's my last point actually, so thank you if you're still here, thank you so much. Consider subscribing, consider me a like. I know that maybe you're watching this and you're like doing Weight Watchers and stuff like that, so you may be like, who is this person coming in? But I'm just like so passionate about it. But yeah, let's get to my last point, is that it vilifies fat. Again, I watched so many videos about what people eat on this Weight Watcher diet, and it promotes all this fat-free eating because fat-free foods have less points. And so fat-free dairy, fat-free this, like everything fat-free, like reduced fat cheese, which is horrible. Like, it's not the natural state of dairy, it's like processed, and the sugar goes up as fat goes down. So all these fat-free foods just have higher amount of sugar. What's like, and fat is so essential for our well-being. And one thing that really annoys me is that Weight Watchers vilifies saturated fat, and it's like, it doesn't tell you to not eat vegetable oils, it actually puts them into their products and then tells you saturated fat is bad. what the hell, like no. And so like basically, so if you eat nuts, it's better if you eat like saturated fat from steak. How is that better? Nuts have no real nutritional value for humans apart from, I don't know, to be honest, I don't know what nuts can be useful for. All I know is they're full of anti-nutrients, they have no bioavailable nutrients, and you know, they can potentially, like, depending on if you have sensitivity, they can be bad for you. And saturated fat is amazing. Our cells are made of saturated fat, part of our brain is made of saturated fat. It's not bad for you, and giving more points to food that's like nutrient dense is just like puzzling, like, to not say anything else. But yeah, my main point to do this, it wasn't because I wanted to like trash this, that. Like, I'm never someone who like goes on here to just bring shade to things. Like, all I'm about is actually what works, what doesn't work. And my mission is to help women get to know their hormone, to achieve optimal health, optimal body composition without being miserable, without having to count things to death, fixing their bodies, getting their bodies to like get healthy and have long-term weight loss, being able to like and also lose weight effortlessly. Like, when you get onto like a ketogenic carnivore diet, you can eat as much as you want, at least at the beginning. Then your body will naturally tell you how much to eat, what to reduce. Like, I've seen so many clients that they get where they want without being hungry, without counting. Just, I mean, there's no counting at all. Like, if you're doing protein sparing days and stuff like that, you're probably gonna have to do some counting, but this obsession with points and all that. And another thing that really annoys me is that it ignores the fact, like, why is people overweight? Like, what is the root cause? Like, is it because someone is depressed? Is it trauma? Is it emotional eating? Is it thyroid problem? Is it insulin resistance? Is it leptin resistance? Like, there has to be like a deeper consideration, like each individual, what problem they have, and fix the root cause. Because if someone overeats because they're stressed, that leads to high cortisol, and it's really difficult to lose weight if you have high cortisol. So yeah, I'm at the end of this video. All I want to say is that, ladies, but even gentlemen, if you're currently on a Weight Watcher diet, if you're thinking about it, if you're doing calories in, calories out, please maybe consider trying something different. Consider trying a diet that is going to fix the root cause of your being overweight, who is going to, like, you can eat to satiety. You don't need to starve yourself, you don't need to count points, and yeah, achieve optimal health in a very short period of time. Like, if Weight Watcher works, like, why there's so many people on it for like 20 years? I saw a woman, because as I say, I follow this like Facebook group. There was a woman saying she's been on it for like 22 years. If something works, you don't need to be on it forever. Like, even this keto, carnivore and all that, like, once you achieve optimal health and nutrition, optimal health, body composition and all that, you can find your own version of it. You don't have to like follow it like religiously for the rest of your life. You just find your own version. Yeah, that's all I have to say. If you want to contact me, you can set up a free consultation. I'm a fitness, nutrition, life coach specializing in hormonal health, and I help mostly women. I have to help some men. I don't discriminate, but my most focus is on women, because I think women, we are so like vulnerable in this, because like we want to be usually as small as possible. That's self-fixation, let's face it, like we're just so subject to like all these magazines and all this, like, oh, this person is doing this diet, this superstar is doing diet, blah blah blah, try this detox tea, try these pills. And I'm just trying to like bring light to say, you know what, it's easier than you think. Like, you can lose weight without being miserable. Like, it can be so much easier than all of this. Even it might seem like, oh, carnivore is so restrictive, you can't eat this, you can't eat that, oh, keto is so restrictive. Yes, you have less foods on your availability, but you can eat so much more. And you don't, yeah, it's just you can't eat freaking Twinkies or like White Water version of waffles or whatever. But even in keto and carnivore diet, there's so much variety you can add. So yeah, just I hope that you will at least consider it, at least go have a look at my YouTube channel, and I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.